Yeah, Bukola.
Yes, from there, let's head straight to Awka in Anambra State, where Professor Odirichukwu Ugbaja joins us now. He is the Chief Medical Director of this teaching hospital at the University of Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, rather, in Awka. He joins us now on the program. He'll be talking to us about the most recent protest by students of the School of Nursing in the institution that we saw 2 days ago. Of course, the students were protesting what they describe as the astronomical increase in school fees from 90,000 naira to over 500,000 naira, I believe 580,000 naira. And so we'll be bringing perspectives to this matter, explaining to us what exactly has transpired between the students and the leadership of the institution. Professor Ugbaja, thank you for joining us on the program. According to reports, the students are saying that the leadership of the institution had no prior consultations with them before the announcement of the increase in school fees. Is that the case?
Good morning, Bukola. Welcome, viewers. Partly correct, partly not correct. What happened was that, the College of Nursing has a board that manages the institution, who has a clear mandate from the management. And our mandate to them is to ensure I prepare the school so that the school will align with the vision of the hospital. We have a hospital who has a vision, a new vision, in terms of our training program. Recall that training is part of the 3 mandates of the teaching hospital. Our mandates from the federal government are clear: clinical services, training, and research. And so we have a vision to build a hospital that will rank among the top 3 in the country by the year 2030, starting from 2021. And in execution of that vision, we've been able to move our hospital from the temporary side to the permanent side. And so what you've seen is an attempt by the management to also bring our school up to that particular standard. There is no doubt that our hospital is on an upward trajectory now, as evidenced by a whole lot of things. So we are trying to also bring our schools. We have 2 basic schools, the College of Nursing and the School of Health Information Management. So the management, in a bid to upgrade that school and bring it up to the standard where we want it to be, constituted a board. Okay? Now I gave the board a clear mandate to upgrade that school and bring it. Or the aim is to be sure that the products from our school are quality products that can stand on their own anyway and represent the school. And so one of the things they found was that the fee being paid by the students is low. That's 90,000. And of course, they reported that to us. So what we considered a committee, I said they should go around and find out what the other schools are paying, especially the federal schools. And then in consultation with the students, and they should find out an appropriate fee that should enable us to upgrade the school and bring it up to standard. And they did that. Okay, and then the students reacted and called my attention to it. Now, as a responsible father, I have to call everybody together. I have had a meeting with the Students' Union government yesterday, where the protest was not organized by the Students' Union government. But these are our kids, these are our children. Anytime you increase payment and all that, people are bound to react. And it is quite normal within civil society. There's nothing wrong with protest. Okay, so they caught my mind to it. So yesterday I had a meeting with the Student Union government and the leadership of the school. And what the students complained was that they were not carried along at the final decision time for the fee. They know that there's a review. Their opinions were sorted. But when they, at the level of taking decision, they said that they were not carried along. So I had a meeting with them. I had a session with the school management. I also had a session with the board. And we've decided as a management to pen the implementation of the new policy. So we stopped it. And then the committee is now going back to them to have a session with the students, and all of them will come together and agree on the way forward Yeah, given that we want to upgrade the school,
All right,
given that
Prof, if I may come in just a moment, if you can hear me, Prof. So let's put everything in proper context for the purpose of our audience. So correct me if I'm wrong. The numbers we hear is that the school fees was 90,000. It's now been increased to 580,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, let me give you a
no, Prof is a yes or no answer, not context. I will get to context. Did the school increase price from school fee from 90,000 to 580,000?
Yes, correct.
What was the rationale?
I'll provide the context to that.
Yes. What was the rationale behind such astronomical increase?
You know, what we were running before was the RNRM program, that is the basic nursing program. But recently, we moved to the ND program as stipulated by the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council. So we are now running ND, HND program. Now, so we have two sets of students, the basic nursing and basic midwifery students, and then we have the ND and HND students. People that we are paying the 90,000 are the basic nursing and basic midwifery students. But the ND and HND students, their fees, they have paid the fees. They don't have issues. People that have issues are people who have been paying the 90,000, and they are from, you have the 2023 sets, 2023 4 sets, you know, they are exiting. The nursing and midwifery council is exiting the program, the basic program. But the students are there, so they are on the exit program. So at the end of the day, we won't be having basic nursing and basic midwifery students. We'll just be ND and HND students. Now, the basic nursing and basic midwifery students have been paying the 90,000 since the school commenced. In fact, we've not reviewed our fees for up to 20 years. In fact, since we started the school, we've not reviewed the fees. Okay, so that fee has been paid like that. Now, what the board did was to adjust the fees to come up to the current reality. Even with the 508,000, our fee remains the lowest in the region. You can find out. I can give you the comparative figures, but that is not it.
But,
like I said, yes.
You mentioned upgrade. You mentioned training, and you mentioned a category of nurses who are doing basic nursing and midwifery, and another doing an ND program, I believe. But if those are the reasons behind this increase in fees, which is astronomical by all standards, the Nnamdi Azikiwe University is part of an 18 set universities benefiting from TED Fund's project intervention to the tune of about, I believe, 10 billion naira. 2.8 billion naira is specifically going to your institution to cover, specifically the teaching hospital, to cover infrastructure development. And so isn't that aspect been taken care of? And, calling for an increase in school fees is unjustifiable amid the benefits coming to the university from TED Fund's intervention.
Okay, well, thank you for the remarks. The TED Fund does not get to the teaching hospital. The teaching hospitals do not benefit from the TED Fund initiatives and interventions. That's the truth of the matter, and that's been part of our issues. In fact, conversations are ongoing to see whether the federal government can also initiate tertiary hospitals or tertiary health institutions intervention fund, because it is actually needed. But the unfortunate thing is that the TED Fund intervention does not get to the teaching hospitals. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. It goes to the university. So it's for university programs. But the College of Nursing is a program of the teaching hospital. So there's no intervention, really. We manage from our IGR. But that is not to justify an astronomical increase in school fees. But then we have to, improve standard. That's why I said I want to create a basis to it. Like I said, I have instructed that they stop the implementation and go back to the drawing board with the students and agree whether they are going to leave it at 90,000, or whether they are going to reduce 90,000, or whether they are going to increase the 90,000. and all of that. The TED fund does not get to us. We don't benefit from TED fund at all.
Prof, apologies. Yes, now that we have the benefit of having you, want to throw in as many questions as possible.
Okay, no problem, I'm here.
Yeah, 600%, Prof, I don't think is acceptable by any standard. Automatically, you would disenfranchise people. Automatically. Certain people will not be able to cope. Even the 90,000.
That's why I stopped it.
Yes, even the 90,000 itself, I'm sure there are people that are struggling. There's a case in upgrading and all of that. So, Prof,
I know.
Prof, how is the teaching hospital funded in terms of your infrastructure, this thing? Because what it looks like now is like you want to use, it's like using the tenant's money to develop the outside infrastructure of your house and asking the tenant to pay for it. Yeah, Prof, go ahead.
I can't get you clearly from this end.
Can you hear me now? I'm saying that how is the teaching hospital, this school of the medical school funded?
Okay, no, I can't
primarily
get you correctly, but I could. I heard when you were asking the funding of the teaching hospital. If that is correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, that's the question. Prof, did you hear?
Okay, yes. The funding of the teaching. Yes, the funding of the teaching hospital is actually in 3 streams, basically. So you have the capital appropriation from the federal government, you have the overheads, and then you have the personnel being funded by the federal government. And of course, you have your IGR that you generate from the hospital and all of that. Of course, speedily the IGR is speedful because it's a federal institution, so it's not profit making. So the IGR is there, but the major lines of funding will be the capital appropriation, the overhead that the government provides, and the personnel. Now, what happens with the training is that we do with the IGR, you cater for the training needs from the IGR, and sometimes, if you're able to find a window within your capital appropriation, you can also intervene through your capital appropriation in terms of building infrastructure. Of course, the government pays for the salaries of the teachers and all that, the main teachers, but the ad hoc staff, the ad hoc teaching staff, and the ones you have to bring from the university, you have to pay from your IGR and all that. But like I said, that's not to justify an astronomical increase in school fees. In as much as we want to, produce quality graduates that will represent us, upgrade infrastructure, we must also take cognizance of the economic realities of the time and ensure that whatever we are providing is affordable by our people. You see, the health sector has been hit by the Jackpot syndrome, unfortunately. And so the government is making efforts to boost the training of health workforce. And in line with that, gratefully, the Nursing and Midwifery Council has improved the training capacity of institutions. And so we are encouraged to make training available to our people. And my hospital has keyed into it completely. So whatever that we derive from that, we are going to look at it. Well, that's why I have to stop the whole initiative and say, let them go back to the drawing board and review it again.
All right.
Yes, and they're listening further.
Yeah, Prof, I hope that TED funds begin to get to the teaching hospital, but it says here that UNIZIK is benefiting from medical training, simulation labs, and faculty of pharmacy, but you say that your institution is not benefiting from it. We wonder why that is.
The teaching hospital is different from the university.
All right. Well, we hope that it does get to you eventually, but we must anchor the conversation at this point. But mark you, we're going to be following the conversation to seeing how this turns out, what the increase will now turn out to be, and if it will be, to go down well with the student nurses at the institution.
Be sure that it will not be something that will hurt anybody.
Absolutely.
Sure. I can assure you.
Yeah, it's a critical sector, and exclusion should not stand at this particular point in time. Professor Odirichukwu Ugbaja is the Chief Medical Director of the Teaching Hospital at the University, Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Bukola. Thank you very much.
And this is where we drop the anchor at this point. And thank you for watching. We'll be back again with the home stretch tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.
Sunrise Daily is out. Next at the top of the hour. Bye-bye.